What's up, guys? My name is Tom, and welcome to the first episode of our updated beginner tutorial series for Super Mario Odyssey. I'll be shutting up for you in just a second, but I thought it would be smart to just explain how this series is going to work, as if you've been around the Odyssey community, you would know that there is already a beginner tutorial series that exists. And the purpose of these videos is to replace that, as those videos are beginning to become a little bit outdated in some regards to information for beginners. If you're completely new, you may notice here on the menu screen, we are in Chinese. Chinese at the moment is known to be the fastest version of Super Mario Odyssey. It was previously thought that Japanese was the fastest, but hey, sometimes we make mistakes too. Timing for Super Mario Odyssey across every single category that begins from a new file begins as soon as you press the A button to start the file. In the future, these sections here will have no running commentary and they will just be movement. And then afterwards, I'll be going over some upgrade paths into more optimal movement or any additional tech that could help you improve your times once you're a little bit more comfortable with moving Mario. But with that out of the way, let's get going, shall we? Important notice, gamers. Are you playing on version 1.3? Check now. Make sure you're on the latest version of Super Mario Odyssey, as for any percent, it is the most optimal version. No questions. No 1.1. Definitely not 1.2. 1.0, never heard of him. 1.3 is where you want to be. Get on it or get out. Thank you for listening to this sponsored message. This video is sponsored by me and me only, and my bank account. It's very low. Please help me. So as we begin our any percent run here, let's go over a few things. Any percent, as I'm sure you're aware, means to beat the game in the fastest known way possible. For you, it's not really the fastest way possible, but we will be making an attempt to get as close as we can, given the circumstances. In Super Mario Odyssey, we progress through kingdoms by collecting power moons, which we then use to power the Odyssey, which is basically the ship thing that you fly around, in an effort to try and save Princess Peach. In 80%, as it currently stands, we collect 124 of these power moons before we finish the run. Here in Cap Kingdom, however, we collect 0. All we have to do here is get to the boss fight, or the topper fight, if you will. That's who it is. Beat him, and then, of course, leave, and make our way to the next kingdom. Cap Kingdom can be brutal, and it can be quite unforgiving. But hey, all we need to do is get through it, right? So let's dig right in. Once this opening cutscene begins to play, what you want to be doing is adjusting your camera down so that it's looking behind Mario. This is because the game forces you to do this before you're allowed to wake up Mario, so we obviously want to be doing this as fast as we can. And then just mashing the jump button. Then as soon as we can, begin a roll, and begin rolling forward. Trying to roll boost off these hills if we can, in a way so that we end up going forward. And then just triple jumping up onto the ramp, and continue roll boosting. Then we skip a cutscene, and then once again, begin rolling and making our way forward through the kingdom. Beginning a triple jump to make it up these stairs, throwing Cappy at the switch, and then just continuing to roll boost past it. If you haven't caught on already, rolling is the fastest way to get around in Super Mario Odyssey, so you will be doing it as much as you possibly can throughout the game. And here in Cap Kingdom, there isn't a whole lot else we can do, so there is quite a lot of rolling. Once you get to these hills, what you want to do is just roll down them, and then as you approach the bottom, roll boost again and roll boost up them, then simply roll down them again, roll boost 3 times once you're at the bottom, and then jump up top and open the door. Once you're in this frog room, same as always, just roll boost forward. Once you hit the water, jump up onto this step, and then jump towards the frog and throw Cappy at it to capture it. Skip the cutscene, and then using the frog, run forward a little bit, and then jump up on this first step here. Hold the jump button again to get up to this next step, and then motion shake to jump forward. Then just continuing to motion shake forward towards these next steps before jumping up top. You may notice top runners doing this zigzagging pattern here. This is what's known as vectoring in Super Mario Odyssey. I do have a video on the topic that explains it, here in this frog room in fact. And the reason that you will see top runners doing this is because vectoring in midair actually gets you a lot more distance, which in frog room here saves something like 2 seconds. It's quite substantial. But if you're just beginning out in Odyssey, it's not overly necessary. You can simply just shake and jump forward and just continue forward. That still saves time over just swimming as the frog. It just doesn't save as much time as vectoring. I think it was something like 1.5 seconds or 1 second or something like that. But anyway, once you're out of the frog room, we want to be heading towards the right and beginning a triple jump sequence before we start rolling up this slope. Holding towards the top hat tower with your left analog stick to ensure that you don't bonk into the railing to your right before finally roll cancelling once you're at the top. A quick point to add here, a roll cancel can be performed by pressing both the Y and the B button at the same time and then aiming usually at about a 90-degree angle. I have a video that goes all over roll cancels up on the channel and I do recommend checking it out if you're interested in learning more. To head towards the boss arena. And once you're in the Topper fight, simply jump and dive towards Topper, knock off his hats, bop him on the head, jump on top of the hat that he spawns in, jump up, throw Cappy into his hats to knock them all off, and then jump on him again. Grab a few extra coins if you can, and that's it. During this cutscene here, mash the jump button so that Mario will jump afterwards, and then simply throw Cappy as soon as you can. And just like that, we're out of Cap Kingdom. So for this next segment in this video, I thought it would be best if we go over some potential upgrade paths for you here in Cap Kingdom. There aren't really many things that I can include here, but there are 3 main ones that I think you could focus on if you so chose to once you started getting a little bit more comfortable with the way that Mario moves. Do keep in mind that these are not intended for you to learn a week after you start playing the game or anything like that. These are for like, you know, once you start getting better and better and better and better PBs, these are like your upgrade paths before you start getting into more and more advanced movement if that's the way that you choose to go. Let's just get into this. First up, your best option is right at the beginning, getting more optimal roll boosts and cutting your triple jump onto the railing, and then if you can, roll boosting off it, and then continue rolling along the hills. Cutting corners is a good way to save time overall. While I don't think it's necessary for a beginner per se to start cutting every single corner they can, this is a really easy one that you can learn, and it's right at the beginning of the run. Next up is the movement directly after that, just getting a little bit more optimal of an angle along this sloped section of the floor to get a triple jump, and then diving up onto the top platform without having to do any extra movement. This one's a little bit difficult when you're first starting out. This took me a long time when I first started playing the game to get comfortable with, so don't feel like you need to chuck this in straight away or anything like that. This will come naturally with time, but I think it's important for me to show here as something that you can do. And really outside, maybe some more optimal frog movement. There isn't really a whole lot else that you can focus on specifically in Cap Kingdom. Things will naturally improve for you. You don't necessarily have to go out of your way to improve Cap Kingdom, or really a lot of the kingdoms in the beginning of the game, as you will just play them all the time anyway. But I hope these have shown some insight on things that you might be able to improve if you chose to focus on them. If you have any additional questions or concerns, do feel free to join my Discord, which is linked in the description. I'm always happy to answer any questions over there, and we do have a whole group of gamers that might be able to get to you if I'm a little bit busy. Or if you want a direct question, you can even tweet at me over on Twitter. Or, you know, if you want a even faster, speedier boy to ask questions to, Tyron's socials are also linked in the description. He was an incredibly big help for this series. He will continue to be an incredibly big help moving forward, and he deserves all of your love as well. But that's it for Cap Kingdom. We really hope this lives up to the hype, and we really hope you guys are interested for what's to come. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in Cascade Kingdom.